What up, people? Hope everyone is well. Nick Nova here with a track breakdown of my remix of The Weeknd's Blinding Lights. It is unofficial, very hard to get an official remix these days, but I found the acapella online and I thought I'd give it a crack at into giving it an energy twist. I did incorporate a lot of 80s sounds and synths as best as I could. As you can see there in the dark crimson red, that's a lot of the chords and the pads with synths and things like that, and I'll show you what I used to get these sounds as well. And hopefully you enjoy this breakdown. I don't want to go for too long because these things can get a little bit tedious, but in any case, let's get cracking into it, and I'll just give you the first section here. So this little bit that is there just before it sort of drops in with the bass line and whatever, and let's give it a quick listen.
I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through a drought. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch, baby. I'm a color since city's cold and empty. No one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone. And I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. Hey, hey, hey.
Alright, sorry to get everyone's hopes up, but I had to drop it there, otherwise I would have just kept on dragging it for too long. But you can listen to the full track on my SoundCloud page, cheap plug, soundcloud.com/DJ Nick Nova, and it'll be on there somewhere. And oddly enough, Broken Bones, a remix I did, the classic hit from Love Inc., I remixed it probably maybe 2 years ago now. It's had over 30,000 plays. It's my most played track in the last 6 months. I think it gets, on average, 500 plays a day or something. It's something ridiculous. I have no idea, but it must be a good remix. But anyways, let's break this down real quick. I'm just going to do this intro bit here, then a little bit later on after the break, this section here where I've just made another melody riff out of the original hook and melody from the original track. And it does sound weird when you're hearing it slowed down. I mean, this is at 142 BPM. I think the original's at 171 or something ridiculous up there, or 80 BPM if you go half speed, but it's very fast, not what you're used to after you've heard it for that long. But let's break this down real quick. Here is the synth bass line for this one. And that just goes on the loop. There's no effects behind it. It is a plugin from Serum, from a synthwave sample, well, not sample pack, preset pack I should say. It's called Odd Look. And funny enough, the bassline patch name for this is also the name of a track by the great Kavinsky, which actually featured The Weeknd on its second release. The original version of the song Odd Look by Kavinsky didn't have The Weeknd singing in it, but the second one did, and it's a very good track. I recommend you do check it out. It's from about 2013 or 14, and it's sort of become the sound that you can expect from The Weeknd, even though The Weeknd's new album wasn't produced by Kavinsky, but I think elements still shine on through. So that's the bass line. Nothing too fancy, pretty simple, just following the structure of the original. Yeah, Yeah, you can hear it now. It's got that crushed sound, which I absolutely love. Then we had the one of the chords, and I used my favorite pre-synth from the Harmless synth that is standard in FL Studio, but I paid for mine to get the full version. Paid an extra, what, 60, 70 odd bucks, whatever it is, but it's called 80s Keys, and this is what it sounds like. So this has the sort of standard formula for chords. I forget which pattern it is, like a 1, 1, 3, 5 or 4 or some shit like that. I'm not too sure. But I've got 2 octaves of bass notes. I've got the main melody playing in the 6th octave, or the chords I should say. Then I've got 2 patches on the 3rd and the 5th. So a much lower one, but this lower one, as you can see there, isn't as up there as the others, but it just gives it a bit more depth, a bit more feel to it. And this second one here is just the main note, the F, which is the root note, played on an octave, and then a 5th up. So that's what you've got there. Then we've got the second round of synth pads, because I like to fatten mine up a little bit, make it sound nice and thick, because thick with 3 C's is good. And this is what this one sounds like, and I'll explain what it is in a sec. I reckon this patch sounds much better as an 80s sounding patch than the actual 80s chord than what it is. But this is out of Nexus. This is from the Sounds of the 80s pack. It is called Analog Dreams. So let's give you a quick little. There you go, a bit of a play around there. So that's what that is. Absolutely love it. Does have that that sound, very Scarfacey, Giorgio Moroder. Listen to that again. Oh no, it's too good. Absolutely love it. Then we've got 2 rounds of synth strings, I should say, or pads. More, we had the synth sort of like chords there, but these are the pads. Now this is the first round of pads. So this was also out of Nexus. This is from the factory presets. It is called Simple Pad, like Simple Jack. I've used it in a few tracks, but it's very simple. And there's a slight side chain on that one there as well, just to give it a bit of variety. And then we've got the second one, and this is from a PGX8 VST, based on an actual synth of some sorts, maybe a Roland, I'm not too sure, but this is what this one sounds like. So this is what this one sounds like here. It is very 80s like. It's got so many presets on here. It is fantastic. There's a chorus as well, which is what you're hearing now. So if we just play that again, take it down. So you can tell straight away there's a difference. I like that one setting. Just gives it a little bit more, I don't know, character, for lack of a better term. But that's that there. And then when you have all these together, just the chords, no basses, and the pads is what it sounds like. And what you will always, not always rather, but also notice, if I just make this a little bit bigger, is that even though they're effectively playing the same structure or the same things, they're in variation. So these bottom two are pretty much the same. One of the chords along with the pad, but this top one here, the original one, is a little bit different. So this one's got a little bit more variety, as I said, because I've got different layers of bass line for that as well. Makes it look a little bit different. It adds a bit of extra warmth, but you can also do variations. So for example, in this instance here, because this was so high up here, this in the fifth, this realistically should be up here on the 7th octave, but it sounds ridiculous if we play it. So let me just give you a quick rundown of what that would sound like. Very up there. So I just dropped it down a couple of octaves. I've still got on the 6th. Doesn't sound as bad, doesn't sound as high piercing. It's actually more pleasant to listen to, but that's a little trick you can do there if you're finding yourself a little bit strapped when it comes to sounds and where you can put things. But also apart from that, we also had a bit of a brass, maybe just following the bass pattern or the chord pattern. Nothing out of the ordinary, but this is just very simple. Absolutely nothing to it, very easy, simple, and you can also feel the cutout. Very simple to do. There's a bit of what's going on in the background there. Then we come to the main melody. So this is the main melody, the hook that everyone finds catchy. Very easy to play. It starts off with the low pass filter when it fades in. So you listen to that with just the main chord once again and the brassy. Then it goes into it again, and then there's the main section here. Bit of a reverb on that there. Very simple, very catchy. Whoever produced the track, absolute genius. I've put a ARP in there as well, so if you want to have a quick listen to this. Again, just gives it something different if you play it along with the pads, even the original bass. Fills it up nicely. Then we've got the bass line, or the different bass line rather, what I use for the remix. It's a 2 bass line. Too many words of too many uses of the word bass line there, but it's an organ bass for the first one. And what you'll probably notice is I don't really name my tracks as I probably should. I try and make it nice and neat when it comes to the actual arrangement, when it comes to labeling things. Yeah, I have a bad habit of that, which I really need to start changing. But as you can see here, I knocked down a lot of the bottom end up to 104 hertz because without the bottom end knocked out, it sounds like this. So you can tell there's a lot of fatness behind it, but when I put it back on, and now without EQ, and again with. So it just hollows it out a little bit, and it's probably not what you want to do if you're using a solo bass, but because I've got another bass line on top of that, which is more bottom endy, and that came out of Lethal, as you saw there, just opening it up so you people could see what I was actually using for that there. When you can put, far out, I can't speak. When you put both of them together, sounds very nice. And then I've also just put sort of like offbeat, sort of like chord stabs, if you will. And it breaks there because it goes into a break, then it goes into the main part of the tune, or the first sort of like drop. Of course, the acapella is here, and you can find it online somewhere. I'm sure if you search the right combination, you'll find it.
I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through a drought. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch, baby.
There you go, just a little bit so you can see what it, or rather hear what it sounds like when it comes to. And then just to finalize this little breakdown, it's almost 20 minutes, a couple more minutes. Hopefully it'll work out just fine. And the main melody, when it comes to the main drop, I've changed it up slightly. Sort of get the idea. So this is the original sound that I used for the original, the first melody. So it's the same melody, same line as this, but just played differently. And then I've used another synth layer to give it a bit more feel, and this one is out of Lethal, and it sounds like this on its own. And with these powers combined, you get this. So layering up bits and pieces does do wonders, as you can hear. Look at all the chords and pads I've got there, just as a layered structure there. So that's pretty much that. There's the track. There's the body with the percussion loops, kicks, claps, hi-hats, shakers, crashes, some drum rolls. Got some up filter, uplifters, downlifters, drops, raises, all sorts of bits and pieces, sub drops. So that's pretty much it there. But that is the, in essence, the track itself. And once again, you can listen to it, soundcloud.com/DJ Nick Nova. Find it on there, Blinding Lights. Follow me on Instagram, nicknova_AU. And that is pretty much it there. You can hear some of my other music on Spotify. Again, search for Nick Nova. There's probably about 10 releases on there. But that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. I'll do my best to keep tabs on those. But you have yourself a very good weekend. See what I did there?